The chain should not break of making plays available to their audiences. It's like saying, damn you, we will not let there be a gap.
It's like Netflix. If somebody recommends it, you'll go, you'll watch it.
We're all hungry for work and hungry to do work that we believe in. And if it means we shoot it on camera, we shoot it on camera.
The pandemic has forced almost all of us to work from home. While for most it comes down to a stable internet connection and a working computer, some have to improvise on a live audience or the lack of it. Online concerts and virtual movie releases are now par for the course. What's venturing into the digital space is theatre. Recently, a lot of theatre makers went online with their shows, and Aadyam is the latest one.
Would have been our 6th season of plays actually this year. So we decided to look at our archive and dig out 3 plays which we thought would work online. And now we are going to go into an auditorium and we are going to shoot it with a full multi-camera setup.
Although nothing can equal the experience of a live performance, theatre makers are trying to take this challenge head-on and bring the stage's authenticity to our laptops and phone screens.
When your stage is not 40 by 30 and it is this tiny window or your tiny laptop screen, then how are you going to dynamize that? Everybody's trying to do experiments and try and see where does digital theatre lie, because it's not film, it is not theatre as we have seen like a live performance. It'll have to have its own form.
It's going to be different for sure, because I think the whole joy of theatre is that it's live. So we're not in any way hiding that this is theatre. So I think all those things will be very comforting for both the theatre maker as well as the actors.
But how are thespians planning to keep the essence of live theatre intact?
So in my head, I'm not treating it any differently at all, unless technically I am asked to do so by my director or perhaps by my sound person who says, stop yelling, you don't need to project that loudly, you need to be more conscious about things.
When I first gave the digital performance, like performed on a phone, I was completely disoriented. And it took me a while to understand that how the nature of audience feedback changes. So I think all these things matter. All these things transform your performance. Not just it will alter the performance, it will alter the blocking. It will alter framing, which means the production design. And it will also alter the way actors negotiate with each other on stage.
As the online space becomes a global stage for performing artists, will this democratize theatre as an art form?
We are not limited to city, we're not limited to location. We have the capacity of, reaching people from all over the country. We're excited about that because Aadyam has never gone beyond Bombay and Delhi. So I think for us also it's a great opportunity to reach audiences in everywhere really.
Subscription of internet is with people who are more privileged. What it has done, it has made it wider. So in that sense, it has made theatre come closer to cinema, where a same performance can be watched over multiple screens, but it has not democratized it because internet and the subscription to internet is a very class-oriented thing. So in that sense, it might just become even more elitist.
Streaming platforms have been collaborating with theatre production companies to put out quality content. But is it profitable?
It's a combination of tickets and brands coming together to support the revenue side of the business. I think all stakeholders in the ecosystem, be it artists, production companies, theatre companies, platforms, are all coming together to find this new model because everybody's out of a job. So even 50 cents to $1 makes some business sense, right? And everybody is willing to work on that. So a combination of these factors is leading us to some interesting new models where you're sharing an upside and sharing a downside.
The thing with online performances is there is too much content digitally. In that sense, the competition is wider. If your content is good, if its production value is good, and you're also able to create a semblance of collecting viewership, then I think people would be interested.
If you look at the numbers that we are seeing now, we're doing more than 70% of shows which are paid for shows. And we are seeing a steady growth of the community month on month for theatre offerings. And we've done some really big ones and some new ones like Pretty Boman, Chehel Pehel. We've had Mahabharat, which has been the epic tale. We had Anupam Kher's Kuch Bhi Ho Sakta Hai. So we've done a whole lot of stuff which has got a lot of traction.
The online space is certainly giving theatre lovers the much needed antidote in these grim days. But will it sustain or ebb away post-COVID?
I think it is here to stay. I do think, but it has to be done really well.
I still don't think that the thrill of watching a play live will ever be replaced. But I do think this will allow you to do things that you would not be able to do just in a space. It's like that Black Mirror episode that came out last year or the year before, the interactive one, right? Where you could pick the way that your story goes. And I think that it is here to stay.